What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got pretty big and pretty important news about the One Piece TCG, including very important news about banned cards. You see, the other day, I told you about a couple of cards that were being banned for the One Piece TCG. This was pretty big news. These were the first bans that we'd ever seen. And I told you that the bans would be happening in English, because that's just the way it always works, right? Whenever we do have banned cards, we've seen this in Digimon as well. When cards are banned or restricted in Japan, they end up banned or restricted over here. But remember that Japan is ahead of us, so we get the bans a little bit later than them. Like, the cards that have been banned because in the OPO free meta, which is where they are at the moment, they're ending up being a bit too good and they're trying to even things out a little bit. We don't have OPO free right now, so what happens to Moby Dick and Kabaji then? What happens in terms of those bans? Well, very simple. They are banned as of OPO free pre-releases. Oh. Yeah, that actually makes perfect sense. And this would be the sensible prediction, honestly. The sensible prediction would be that these are being banned as of the release of that set. But of course, it's not really the release of the set which is important. It is the pre-release, because the pre-release is, of course, the first time that we actually get a chance to see the cards, etc., etc. So yeah, that honestly makes perfect sense. Pre-release happens, and then all of a sudden, the set is gone. Yeah, alright. It's perfect. We don't need to ban these cards yet, because we're not in the OPO free meta. So why would we need to ban these cards? Japan went all the way through the OPO 2 meta, the one that we're in at the moment, with these cards, and they didn't think it was worthy of a ban. So why would we have the ban during the OPO 2 meta when it wasn't a problem? The answer is we wouldn't. If anybody's wondering, this is slated for release in June, so that is when we are going to have the ban coming in here. Nice. Now, do remember that we do have both banned and restricted cards. Banned cards are banned, clues in the name for that one, you cannot play any of them. Restricted means you are limited to one copy in your deck, and essentially, both of these cards have been banned. They have not been restricted, there are no restricted cards. Now, Moby Dick is essentially coming in to nerf the Edward Newgate deck. It's a 2-cost stage. If you have 1 or less life, your Edward Newgate and all your characters with a type including Whitebeard pirates gain 2,000 power. And essentially, Edward Newgate is a bit too good. It gets down to 1 or less life a little too easy. And yeah, it's just a bit too good. Plus, we got the Izzo from OPO 3, which can search this out. It can search out any Whitebeard pirate cards, but that does include the stage. And that's one of the reasons why it's banned in the OPO 3 meta, because in the OPO 3 meta, you can use Izzo to get this card out a little bit more easily, which of course isn't an issue in the OPO 2 meta. Ergo, there we go. As for Kabaji, this is for the Nami deck. Nice and simply, they're trying to weaken the Nami deck. Now, again, this is an OPO 2 card. It's interesting that both the banned cards are OPO 2. On play, if you've got Moji, draw 2 cards and trash a card from your hand. It's fine. Moji's just a cheap vanilla card. But what's important here is a combination we've got with, well, partly with Overheat, but do remember that Overheat is a thing like now. So if the Overheat with this combination was a problem, it would already be a problem. We've already got Overheat. Remember, Overheat is a card that we've actually had since Romance Dawn. And your leader or one of your characters gains 4,000 power during this battle as a counter, and then put an active character of a cost of 3 or less to the owner's hand, or as a trigger, return a character of a cost of 4 or less to the owner's hand. So this lets you pick this up and then play it back down again, draw a bunch of cards. Remember, if you forgot, that Nami is a deck whereby if you run out of cards, you actually lose the game. It's a new win condition. So drawing lots and lots of cards to run yourself out of your deck is a good thing. The other problem, the new problem in OPO 3 is Zeph. Partly because Zeph, when you take one of your opponent's life, you get to trash 7 cards to the top of your deck. That's good. But also on play, you can return a character that costs 3 or less to the owner's hand, and then trash 2 cards on the top of your deck. So you play Zeph trash 2 cards, return Kapaji to the back to your hand, and then play it down to draw more cards, and then you attack with Zeph to mill even more cards, and it just gets a little bit out of hand. So what they've basically done, and I love that they've done this, is that they've gone, right, Edward Newgate's a bit too good, let's just ban a support card that makes it better, so we're not killing the deck, we're just weakening it, and then they've done the exact same thing with Nami. Like I've said, we are not going to be seeing that now. This is not a now thing. This is a when we get to the OPO free pre-release, which of course is when it's actually going to end up being a problem. And yeah, I just think this is great, ladies and gentlemen. I think this is absolutely wonderful. Cool. Get ready for that, ladies and gentlemen, because that is going to change the game pretty gosh darn dramatically. But what else is going on in the world of the One Piece trading card game? Well, we've got ourselves a new promo pack over in Japan. Now, the Japan promo packs are actually awesome, and frankly, they're kind of better than ours, and we should all be a little bit jealous. Because the way it works over in Japan, I don't know how many of you can read this, but let me tell you, it's got all 6 types in. So this promo pack has, you can see at the top there, the little thing that's kind of like a construction beam with a hat on. It means all, and then it says 6, and then that means types or, styles, whatever you want to say. All 6 types. And then underneath in smaller letters, it says 1 pack, 6 in. Yeah? It's awesome. Absolutely awesome. They did this with the first 2 promo packs. Shout out to my friend Taj, who is awesome. Digitaj and Poketaj. We love Taj. He hooked me up with number 2 just literally this weekend. Now there's number 3 as well. And these cards might look a little bit familiar to you because we actually got these before Japan. In your face, Japanese One Piece players. No, only kidding. You guys are lovely. But we've actually seen these already. These are the online regionals cards. So they appear as both participant sets and finalist sets and then a champion set. But there is a big difference between how it is dealt with in Japan and how it is dealt with over here. Because you see, over here, for a participation, you get 1 pack. For top 128, you get 1 pack. For top 32, you get a finalist set. And then if you win the whole gosh darn thing, you get a champion set, which is awesome. But the problem is our packs, and I don't need to translate these for you because, you can see it right there on the front. 1 card per pack. That's what really disappoints me about these. It's one of the reasons I'm collecting English cards, but Japanese promos. And one of the awesome things about Japanese promos is this is now the 3rd time in a row where Japan has had a promo pack where you buy the pack, you get all 6 cards, jobs are good 'un. Whereas over here, you get a pack with a random one in. Although we do get the awesome stamps because they're regional cards. So I'll let you be the judge of that one. So what we got here very quickly is the Trafalgar Law from OPO2. That is the activate main, pay 1, and you can play up to 1 character of a cost of 3 from your hand. If you return this to your hand, of course. Great card, sees a bunch of play, we love it. The Kobe from OPO2, on play you can trash a card from your hand to KO up to 1 of your opponent's characters of a cost of 3 or less, which is pretty cool. We've got the Sanji from Starter Deck 1, Don X2, it gains Rush. This still is not a card that's seeing as much play as I was expecting. With the Marshall D. Teach from Starter Deck 3, that on play returns a character of a cost of 3 or less to the owner's hand. The Jack from Starter Deck 4, that on play lets you trash a card from your hand and add up to 1 Don card from your Don deck and set it as active, which is pretty cool to be honest with you. And the Charlotte Pudding, that's got counter plus 2,000, and on play you can look at up to 1 card from the top of yours or your opponent's life and place it at the top or bottom of the life. Basically trying to make sure that you do have a good trigger on top, but your opponent does not have a good trigger on top. There we go. So basically, this is cool. I love the Japanese packs, and I love that they've got 6. It's a change I would love to see over here. The thing is, I play Digimon, I play One Piece, and I'll play Battle Spirit Saga. All of those games have 1 card event packs over here, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. But for people like me that collect the Japanese cards and we're waiting for this new pack to be revealed, finding out how we're going to be getting these cards, this is wonderful news. And even if you don't care about these, the confirmation that it is going to be the OPO3 pre-release that brings in those 2 banned cards, that is rather gigantic. But now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about all of this in the comment section. Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and card games and Pokemon card games, all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.